Happy hump day, everyone, and welcome. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you might be right now. It's actually afternoon. It is almost 1 p.m. Houston, Texas Central Standard Time. And this is a pop-up. I usually do these Mondays at 11:30, but hadn't done one this week and haven't been doing my lives this week because it was Labor Day week, and next week kicks off the full second season. So super excited to be here, and just wanted to spend, for those of you that don't know, it is really the human behind human AI cells, so that my goal is to take these transcripts and transcribe them into something valuable as it relates to output. And this is the way I hold myself accountable. So today, what I want to talk about is a little bit about just showing up, right? I think that in sales, it's so important for us to show up even on the days that we don't want to. And as a human behind the elevators, human AI cells, we all have days where we have low energy, where we may be sad, where things may not be going really well. Maybe we're not as positive, but it is all about showing up and executing. When we do that, it really does help us in more ways than we can ever imagine. It helps us make sure that we're executing. It helps us to foster that energy that we need to show up in the best version of ourselves in that moment. And really, our buyers, our friends, our colleagues, our community, they will appreciate us for it because we're showing up in our authentic selves. So actually today it was pretty interesting. I sat on a networking call, of which I love. I just don't get to go to that networking call very often, but had the op today, and I had a couple of people notice that my energy was really, really low, and they were right. It was low. I don't really know why. It doesn't really matter. Some days it's just that way, and there's nothing that we can correlate it to, right? Sometimes it's just the way it is, and the reality is that we still have to show up even on the days when it seems maybe not so natural or not so easy to show up. So these are 10, 15-minute clips. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time today. We've only been on for about 3 minutes. I don't even know who's out there. If you're out there, definitely let us know in either Team Live or Team Replay. But, for me, it is even on the hardest days, just showing up when it counts, when it matters. And maybe no one else knows what's going on, or that you're even missing, or even potentially that you are showing up just because, without even knowing what might be going on inside or behind the scenes. But you will be much more appreciated, and you will start to appreciate yourself a bit more when you just show up, regardless of how you feel or how you look or what it may seem like or what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are days when we have to most certainly take a step back and choose sometimes not to show up, right? Because maybe even when we try to muster everything that we can, we are still not our best version, even at that very moment, right? And that is something that we have to decide on ourselves. But the question that I was asking myself just here in the past week has been, am I really in flow? Or am I avoiding doing some things? I mean, I'm all about executing, and I've been doing a really good job of doing that. But there are moments where I haven't been able to get through my list, but I've gotten other things done. So do I give myself grace? Do I allow myself to be in flow? Am I really in flow? Or is that just a way to excuse what I haven't accomplished? So sometimes you just got to go with your intuition and your gut and show up. So I don't really know what the point of this was, except just to show up, to let you know that, we all are human, that when we show up, regardless of how we feel, it does, it's not showing up. My stream is not showing up on LinkedIn. Sorry, I'm getting a message here. Interesting. So maybe I'll just stop this and try to show up on LinkedIn. So for those of you that are watching, definitely thank you guys for being here. Otherwise, look forward to seeing you next week, Mondays at 11:30 Houston, Texas Central Standard Time. Thanks, everyone.